Tumza mentioning our headline story, what's happening at Wits. Let's take you there now, where the students are vowing to intensify their protests, angry at financial exclusion and ongoing housing issues at the institution. Our university management says it will act firmly against those who disrupt teaching and learning. Let's get the latest then from senior reporter Silindelo Masikane. And Slee, the SRC announcing a full campus shutdown until they are heard. So where are we this morning?
Well, at this point, Gareth, we still find ourselves outside the university's campuses here at the University of the Witwatersrand. And however, we're trying to negotiate with management to allow us into the campus to get a picture, an idea as to what is happening inside. A statement by the university assured the lecturers and students that, classes would continue, the academic program would continue as normal today. However, of course, on the student side, where we have protesting students as of yesterday, they have vowed to intensify their protest action, saying that saying that they would disrupt classes and essentially render the university ungovernable. Now, I will at a later stage show you what's happening in front of me, but I'm going to try and give you a picture inside the university. Security has certainly been heightened on all levels in terms of its own security personnel, but also with a police presence outside of the university as well. Earlier on, we saw a number of security officials getting ready and moving towards the Great Hall of the university. We know that that is where usually some of the students gather, and of course, one will ask themselves, what are the issues that have essentially brought the university to this stage? And we know what happens every year this time of the year when higher education students need to come and register to begin their new academic year. The issues around the cost of higher educations, the issue of historical debts, the issue of accommodation are once more coming to the fray. We know that these protests have begun in earnest since around 2015, labeled or described as the Fees Must Fall protests, where we have seen every single year as of 2015 students gathering this time of year to protest against the high cost of tertiary education. And at this point, we understand that these students are essentially going to gather once more. Today we have no idea whether they'll be moving into Braamfontein like we saw yesterday, but we know that frustrations have been boiling over, and in front of me, just outside of the university, we're seeing at least one police nyala and at least 3 or 4 police vans that have situated themselves outside of the university in anticipation of whatever may happen today, because what we also saw transpiring was that when students left campus, they began to blockade the main roads here in the Braamfontein precinct, and we saw, of course, some destruction of property. We saw burning tires, we saw roads being blocked with rocks as well as debris, and we also saw a number of shops within Braamfontein having to shut down due to the fear of perhaps some looting taking place. So at this point, Gareth and Dumelo, we're just trying to, of course, gain access into the university and perhaps also get some comment from the officials as well as the SRC in terms of one of the statements that was released late last night by the university. They are saying that some of those who are protesting were academically excluded because they have been failing over a number of years and are now demanding to be registered. But I think if you speak to students, they'll obviously give you a different picture as to what they understand to be the issue, to be the issues that they are protesting over. And we know, of course, accommodation being one of the major ones at this point as well, because a number of students are sleeping in some of the libraries, and we know from speaking to some of the representatives from the SRC that accommodation at Wits University can cost you up to 80,000 Rand, and that is excluding some of the academic material that you would have to acquire to be able to continue with your studies. So at this point, Wits University in particular swarming with security personnel as well as police officials, and at this point, of course, we're anticipating that students will once more begin to protest as the day continues.